Friends and family, welcome to another video. In this one, we're going to talk about how to make sure that your hair is in proper shape before you do a relaxer. As you saw in my previous video, hopefully you've watched it. I am intending to do a relaxer in about 7 months, to put a relaxer in my hair. My hair has been natural for 2.5 years now, and I'm going back to relaxers because that was a plan all along. So I want to make sure I do it right. Not that I wasn't doing it right before, but it did get to a point where I was starting to feel like my hair wasn't as thick as I wanted to be, after straightening it with a relaxer. So if you are going from natural to relaxed, these are some of the things you want to know. The health of your hair is very important because a relaxer breaks down the bonds in your hair. It weakens it in your hair strands. So you want to up the strength, the protein, and the moisture balance. Your hair has to be strong. The tensile strength, like when you hold the strands and you pull it apart, it has to take a bit before it actually breaks. That's how you know your hair is strong enough and healthy enough before you put a relaxer in. You also have to be ready to deal with when it starts to grow, your natural hair starts to grow, that line of demarcation needs some TLC. You cannot be pulling and tugging and whatnot because that is a breaking point between the two different hair textures. So it's very important to make sure that you have the products that will help to soften and still strengthen the new growth and the link between the new growth and the relaxed hair. So that's number 2. Research those kinds of products. There are plenty of them out there for our type of hair that will make sure that the breakage is reduced as much as possible. That's number 2. Number 3, learn how to do protective styles. I know a lot of us, when we're relaxed, we want to have our hair out because it's just gorgeous. You know what I mean? And if it keeps rubbing on your clothes, there will be breakage there because remember, the hair is already weakened from its original natural state. So you want to make sure from time to time you put in some protective styles. I see some people doing buns. If you do too many buns all the time in the same spot, that will cause breakage. You want to make sure that your protective styles aren't pulling your edges out. You want to make sure that your protective styles are not too frequent, not too tight for on your scalp. Because when you do that and your scalp gets sore, you cannot put in a relaxer. You can't do that. So that's number 3. Number 4, you have to make sure that you have good products for protein and moisture so that you balance both. You have to keep infusing protein into your relaxed hair to keep it strong, because if you don't, it will get brittle and it will break. And breaking hair, like hair that is broken up and just, it doesn't look good. Even if it's natural, it's all, disheveled and whatnot, it doesn't look good. You also want to make sure that, as you put in the protein and the moisture, checking for split ends. I think, in my opinion, when your hair is relaxed, you need to trim it a little bit more often because the older parts of the hair, which is the ends, which every time you're doing your wash, your relaxer wash out, that some of it runs on that old hair and you might get split ends. And split ends, if not tended to, will keep going up the shaft of the hair, and then eventually your hair just looks a hot mess. So you want to do frequent trims, maybe every 3 to 6 months. You cut off like 1/2 inch, not a whole lot, to make sure the ends are good, right? So those are 4 things that I can think about before you relax your hair. You want to know that these are the things that you have to pay attention to. Relaxed hair may take a little bit less time when it comes to wash day and this and that and that. However, you cannot skip certain processes when it comes to putting in protein and moisture because you've already weakened the hair. So you want to make sure you do that extra step. Although it doesn't take as much time as for me, my natural hair, it still takes a little bit of time, to maintain relaxed hair. So make sure that you do that. One of the other things is as your hair gets longer, for me, when I'm washing it, I have to wash it this way. My relaxed hair, the only way I can keep the hair from dreading up when I wash it. If I wash it like this and all the hair is here, for some reason I get dreadlocks at the top, and I have very little patience in detangling. So in detangling those, I end up, breaking off hair, ripping out hair, and then this part of my head is a little bit lighter. It's a little bit thinner. So be careful. Know your hair. If you're able to wash your hair like this, and all the hairs in the front, and you don't have that kind of problem with the dreadlocks, you're good. But if you do, make sure that you wash it backwards, and that will prevent the dreadlocks, and you can keep your hair nice, long, and healthy, okay? And remember, if you're ready to relax your hair, you can either go to a professional who knows how to do it, or if you want to do it yourself, read the instructions. Be very careful about putting the relaxer on your scalp. Be very careful about overlapping previously relaxed hair. It's not good. So there are measures that you have to take to coat the previously relaxed hair. There are measures you have to take to baste your scalp, so that if some of that relaxer gets there, which inevitably while you're washing your hair, some of it will get there, that it's not so much of it is absorbed into your bloodstream through your scalp. So that's all the advice that I have if you decide to relax your hair. Hopefully these tips are good for you, like you are going to be able to do that to prepare your hair for relaxing, and also to maintain healthy, relaxed hair. So if you're like me and you're excited about it, go for it. Let me know how it goes. And when I do mine next year, I'm definitely going to post a video of the entire process. Actually, I think I've posted a video about that before, or maybe what it looks like after. Okay. Well, thank you for joining me as always, and I'll see you in the very next video. Don't forget to subscribe before you go. Have a blessed week.